Hello, Year 11. This is Mr. Brown, Head of History and Politics, and I'm talking to you today about the A-level in politics that we offer here in our sixth form. The first thing I want to explain to you is how the course in A-level politics is structured. And it's important that you understand that, particularly given that this is a new subject that you would be doing for A-level. The course structure, though, is really fairly simple. There are three units of the course. There's no coursework, so it's all assessed by examination at the end of year 13. So there's three exam papers. They're all 2-hour exams, and they're all worth 1/3 of your final mark. Another good thing, actually, is in terms of simplicity, is that there are only 3 styles of questions on each of the papers. So that makes the assessment and approaching the assessment easier in that sense. So the exam board that we use is AQA, and the 3 units that we do are Government and Politics of the UK, the Government and Politics of the USA, and that's Comparative Politics, and then we do a unit on Political Ideas. And I'll just say something briefly about each one of these units. The first paper, Government and Politics of the UK, obviously has a British focus, and it introduces to you how politics and government in this country runs, how elections work, the nature of the devolved parliaments that we have in Britain. We look at how Prime Minister questions works. We look at things like how pressure groups operate in Britain, the different political parties, and so on. So that's basically an introduction to British government and politics. The second paper, obviously by its title, is looking across the Atlantic at how government and politics works in the USA. And it does this looks at this specifically, but it also does it comparatively by comparing basically the American political system with the British. And you will find that particularly interesting if you do follow events in American politics, which of course have been very interesting in recent years with the presidency of Donald Trump, further back Barack Obama. And we look at movements and so on, such as Black Lives Matter. So that has a particular interest amongst many young people. And the third unit that we study is that of political ideas, really political philosophy. And in that unit we study key political ideas. Quite specifically, we look at the ideas of liberalism, conservatism, socialism, and ecologism. So if you're interested in political ideas, where they came from, how they believe society should function, what suggestions they have for improvements, that is a unit that you will find very interesting. So those are the three units of the A-level politics course. For people who go on and study politics at A-level, or indeed into higher education, the kinds of career destinations that would be linked to that subject include, of course, politics itself, standing for election, becoming an MP or becoming a councillor in local government. The career of law is very, very popular for students of politics. Journalism, working for a pressure group or a charity, Amnesty International for example, or for a trade union. Many people who study politics go on and work in the diplomatic service, often stations of overseas. Jobs in the civil service, working for the government, implementing government policy, and of course in local government too. So many people who study politics at an A-level, or indeed certainly at a university level, might well find themselves drawn to these kinds of career destinations. What other A levels go with politics? Well, if it fits in your option columns, really any, we find over the years that many students do history alongside politics. In fact, a very large connection between these two subjects. They do go hand in hand, really. They complement each other. Of course, you don't need to do history to be successful at politics. We've always had students who do politics and don't do history. But that is a combination that many students in our sixth form have. It's closely connected with other social sciences, psychology and sociology. Sociology, the study of society, so of course politics would feature highly in that. English, in terms of the literacy skills, but also politics works well for students who go more in the direction of science and mathematics, and they want to do something completely different really as a subject, something that they're really interested in. And politics certainly is that. And indeed, it's worth pointing out that as an A level, it has real credibility, academically speaking. Politics at Framwellgate. Well, it develops critical thinking skills and the ability to interpret, evaluate and comment. It helps young people acquire knowledge and understanding of the structures of authority and power within the political system of the United Kingdom and how these may differ from those of other political systems. It stimulates an interest in and engagement with contemporary politics. It's a highly regarded academic qualification, goes particularly well with history, and is currently taught, and has been for years and years, by two specialist politics teachers here in the school, myself, Mr. Brown, and Mr. Ward. Now, the A-level in politics over the years has been highly successful here at Framwellgate. The figures on this slide illustrate this. A very large proportion of our students, almost 70% of our students, year on year, will achieve what everybody would consider to be good A-level grades, B grade and above, and many up there at A-star and A as well. So that's something that we're particularly proud of. In terms of course requirements, we would say that it's not obviously a subject that you will have studied before, but we do require students, in order to be successful in the course, to have a good standard of English. So we look for a grade 5 in your English qualifications. As importantly as that, we need to see in students that they have a real interest in the world around you. And so I think to yourself, if you are thinking about doing politics, if you sort of turn the news on and it immediately interests you and you want to find out more about this, whatever it is, whether it's American politics, whether it's the managing of the COVID pandemic, whether you have an interest in the environmental movement or, I don't know, the impact of Brexit, if you find those things interesting, you talk about them with your friends, you engage with those topics on via news programs or of course via social media, this politics could well be a subject for you. And we would expect that enthusiasm and interest to carry through in the lessons as well in terms of participation. You have to be very well organised to do the A-level in politics. Remember, there's no coursework element, so this does require good examination skills for a linear A-level. And as with everything really within our sixth form, we have very high expectations of you as students. Okay, I hope that that's helped outline the A-level in politics that we offer here at Fram. There's not a huge number of schools and sixth form centres that offer this A-level, so it's something that we think is pretty distinctive. We have nice small class sizes for our politics classes, about 12 in both year 12 and 13 at the moment. Lovely size for discussion and debate, and as you saw on the previous slide, the results speak for themselves. If you have any further questions, please do speak to me, Mr. Brown, or indeed Mr. Ward, as the other politics teacher, and we will be able to help you, I'm sure. That's all for now.